Assalamu alaikum. Now let's look on the gentleness of the noble messenger. Upon him be peace and blessings. The pride of creation is the best example from whom gentleness can be taken, as well as how every Muslim should be. Both before and during his mission, he was the most gentle amongst the people, and throughout his life up to his last breath. Both before and during his mission, he was the most gentle amongst the people, and throughout his life up to his last breath. He never thought of revenge for wrongs done against him. He was the hardest to anger, the easiest to please, and the most forgiving among all people. As it is known, when he began teaching about God's commands, the disbelievers now began humiliating his dignity. They ridiculed him, threatened to kill him, spread thorns on his path, threw excrement at him, and even threw a noose around his neck and tried to drag him by it. Not stopping at this, they called him a conjurer, a sorcerer, and insane. They tried everything they could think of to anger him. However, the messenger endured everything they did without even thinking to react the same way. No one, whoever he may be among you, would be able to control his anger and try to respond kindly when insulted or attacked in such a way. For example, one day he was declaring the oneness of God. Abu Jahl started throwing rocks at him and shouting, "People, do not listen to this man. He is trying to get you to abandon your religion. He wants to separate you from our idols, Lat and Uzza." It was in the market. The Prophet refused to acknowledge the instigation. He did not once turn to look at Abu Jahl, but simply continued his duty. In the narrative cited by Maulana Shibli, Asr as-Sada, also it is reported that another day the messenger, upon him be peace and blessings, was going to visit Sa'd ibn Ubadah, one of the companions who had fallen ill. On the way, he encountered a gathering assembled by the ringleader of the hypocrites, Abdullah ibn Ubay. The Prophet stopped for a while. Ibn Ubay began to taunt him, saying arrogantly, "Careful you, your animal is making dust. Get out of here, your animal is bothering us." And Ibn Ubay, seeing that the people were listening to him, was beside himself, saying the following: "If anyone wants to hear something from you, he will come to you. Do not talk to us of Islam." He threw curses at the Prophet. But the Prophet's adab would not let him respond. He simply continued his address. On seeing this, the great poet Wadlad bin Rawaha stood up and said, "O Messenger of God, come here more often and speak to us. We love you greatly." Then a disagreement began between the Muslims and the disbelievers. They started to argue. The messenger, calm and gentle as always, calmed them down thereby, then departed, continuing on his way. See Sahih Muslim Jihad Hadith 3357. One of his enemies decided to cast a spell on the Prophet, who became ill and was confined to bed for several days. Finally, Archangel Gabriel came and told him, "Messenger of God, one from among the Jewish people cast a spell on you by throwing a knotted string into such and such a well. Send someone there and have him remove the string." The Prophet sent Ali ibn Abi Talib, who took out the knotted string and brought it to him. As soon as they untied the knot, he got a relief and got well. Although he exactly knew who had bewitched him, the messenger never confronted the perpetrator about it. See Bukhari and Muslim. Again, among the people of the book, there were those who sought the truth. In the earlier scriptures, there were many signs regarding the unique characteristics and virtues of the coming messenger. Gentleness was one of the most easily recognizable among the signs related in the Holy Torah. The Torah explicitly proclaimed that the Prophet would be of gentle spirit and show great patience and tolerance in inviting people to God's way. The Jewish scholars saw by their own eyes that Prophet Muhammad, upon him be peace and blessings, had many qualities which the Torah had predicted. One of those scholars had a thought: "I have seen him every single sign and characteristic foretold in the Torah except gentleness. I decided to test this last trait. I went and lent the Prophet 30 dinar for a specified time. Then I went to him one day before the payment date and said the following: 'O Muhammad, pay me back. You sons of Abdul Muttalib never pay your debts on time.'" Hearing this, Umar ibn al-Khattab retorted, "O foul Jew, by God, if we were not in the messenger's house, I would slap your face." But the messenger said to Umar, "O Umar, God forgive you. I expected better from you. You should have said, and I would gladly pay what I owe him. And you should have said that you would assist him to collect it and acted courteously toward him." The messenger responded to my ignorant, harsh, rude manner only by increasing his own gentleness. He said to me, "O Jewish man, I will surely pay you back tomorrow morning." Then he told Umar, "O Umar, tomorrow morning take him to whichever date grove he wishes and give him as much as he wishes. Then give him more than he asks for. If he is not pleased with the dates in that grove, take him to another one." The following day, Umar brought me to the date grove of my choice. He gave me as much as the messenger had told him to and added even more. After being repaid in this manner, the Jewish man declared the Shahada and reverted to Islam. He explained his conversion to Umar. "O Umar, do you know why I acted that way to the messenger of God? I acted thus because I saw in him all of the characteristics and morals foretold in the writings of the Torah. The only ones I had not observed were gentleness and kindness. Today I tried his patience, and he responded just as the Torah said he would." With you as my witness, I hereby donate these dates and half of all my possessions to the poor among the Muslims. This narrative is written in Ibn Sa'd Tabaqat, Volume 1, page number 360. Another moment, the Prophet, upon him be peace and blessings, was in the masjid with the companions, sitting and talking with them. The Bedouin entered and prayed 2 units of namaz, then opened his hands and prayed, "O God, have mercy on me and on Muhammad, do not have mercy on anyone else." When the Prophet heard him praying thus, he said, "You are limiting God's great and wide mercy." A little later, the Bedouin got up, went to a corner of the mosque, and urinated there inside the masjid. The companions jumped up to stop him. The Prophet, however, intervened and told them, "Leave him alone, so that he can finish well. Let him see what he has done. Later, go and wash the place with a bucket of water, for you have been sent to make the way easier, not to complicate." Then he called the Bedouin to his side and told him, "Mosques are not for relieving ourselves or for any other kind of uncleanness. They are made for the remembrance of God, praying and reading the Quran." This is also from Bukhari, Abu Dawud, and Tirmidhi. Anas ibn Malik tells of another example. "I was walking with the Prophet. He was wearing a garment made of rough Najran fabric. A Bedouin came running up behind the Prophet, grabbed his robe and yanked it back. His garment was torn and his neck rubbed raw by this roughness. The man had yanked it so hard and the fabric was so rough that it hardly stroked the Prophet's neck. Then the man said, 'O Muhammad, load my camels with grain, for the possessions you hold do not belong to you nor to your father.' That was rude and cruel, and the Prophet was troubled. He turned to the man and said, 'First apologize, for you have injured me.' The Bedouin retorted, 'No, I will not apologize.' He was trying to guide him in the way of courtesy, but the man was unconcerned. The Prophet then turned to the companions and, ignoring the man's incivility, instructed them, 'Load one of this man's camels with barley and the other with dates.' The man, satisfied, went away. The companions were highly surprised by the Prophet's kind treatment to this rude Bedouin. The story is from Bukhari and Khumus. God's messenger treated all those under his authority and in his service with the utmost gentleness. He didn't get angry with them or hurt their feelings. Even if they were negligent in their duties or did not fulfill what they promised, he would only inquire with kindness and polite consideration. Anas ibn Malik narrates, "I served the messenger for 10 years. He never once showed impatience with me, never reproved me for neglecting to do something. He never once showed impatience with me, never reproved me for neglecting to do something, nor ever asked me why I had done something I was not supposed to do." Read Bukhari, Muslim, and Tirmidhi. Anas recalled another time, "The messenger of God sent me out one day with a task. At first I said, 'By God, I cannot go.' But inwardly, I felt compelled to go wherever he sent me. I went out, and then I came across some children playing on the street. I forgot myself and started playing with them. Then the Prophet came up behind me and put his hand on my head. I looked at his face and he was smiling. He said, 'Dear Anas, did you go where I sent you?' he asked. 'Yes, I am going, O Messenger of God,' I said." The narrative was cited by Adhim Abadi and On al-Ma'bud. An important note should be taken that his gentleness and forgiveness toward the aggressors was concerned with his own affairs and rights. However, he did never let it go. Matters concerning God's rights and the society welfare, that was why he didn't hold back fighting to defend the matters. Much thanks. The next lesson, we're going to see comments of non-Muslim scholars on his greatness. Never miss.
Join Jesus now.